Every Christian knows the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, but what if you were told that Eve was not Adam's first wife, that his first wife was a woman named Lilith? Lilith is a figure unknown to most Christians, but in some ancient texts she is depicted as Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden. She defied subservience and chose exile over submission. A figure shrouded in mystery and myth, she has captivated the imagination of cultures for millennia. Emerging from the ancient sands of Mesopotamian mythology as a nocturnal demon, Lilith evolved through the centuries into a complex symbol in Jewish folklore and mysticism. Lilith represents both the fearsome aspects of the feminine and rebellion. The only disputed mention of Lilith in the Bible comes in Isaiah 34 verse 14.
Wild cats shall meet with hyenas, goat demons shall call to each other. There too Lilith shall repose and find a place to rest.
The name Lilith is not found in all translations, however, and her story can only be told from other texts. The alphabet of Ben Sira is a medieval Jewish text, often dated to around the 8th to 10th century, which contains the most famous account of Lilith as Adam's first wife. In this story, Lilith is created from the same earth as Adam, but refuses to be subservient to him, leading to her departure from Eden.
After God created Adam, who was alone, he said, "It is not good for man to be alone." He then created a woman for Adam, from the earth, as he had created Adam himself, and called her Lilith. Adam and Lilith immediately began to fight. She said, "I will not lie below," and he said, "I will not lie beneath you, but only on top. For you are fit only to be in the bottom position, while I am to be in the superior one." Lilith responded, "We are equal to each other, inasmuch as we were both created from the earth." But they would not listen to each other. When Lilith saw this, she pronounced the ineffable name and flew away into the air. Adam stood in prayer before his Creator. "Sovereign of the universe," he said, "the woman you gave me has run away." At once the Holy One, blessed be he, sent these 3 angels, Senoi, Sansonoi, and Semangaloth, to bring her back. The Holy One, blessed be he, said to Adam, "If she agrees to come back, fine. If not, she must permit 100 of her children to die every day." The angels left God and pursued Lilith, whom they overtook in the midst of the sea, in the mighty waters wherein the Egyptians were destined to drown. They told her God's word, but she did not wish to return. The angels said, "We shall drown you in the sea." "Leave me," she said. "I was created only to cause sickness to infants. If the infant is male, I have dominion over him for 8 days after his birth, and if female, for 20 days. When the angels heard Lilith's words, they insisted she go back. But she swore to them by the name of the living and eternal God, "Whenever I see you or your names or your forms in an amulet, I will have no power over that infant." She also agreed to have 100 of her children die every day. Accordingly, every day 100 demons perish, and for the same reason we write the angels' names on the amulets of young children. When Lilith sees their names, she remembers her oath, and the child recovers.
In this story, Lilith is depicted as Adam's first wife, created from the same earth, which establishes her as equal to him. Her refusal to submit to Adam in their relationship, leading to her departure from Eden. Lilith's defiance and her invocation of the ineffable name of God to escape symbolize her rejection of subordination. After fleeing, she becomes associated with demonic activities, particularly the harm of infants, but is also bound by an oath to spare those protected by specific angelic names. This account from the alphabet of Ben Sira is significant because it lays the foundation for Lilith's later role in Jewish folklore and mysticism as a demonic figure and a symbol of rebellion. The figure of Lilith in ancient Mesopotamian mythology is indeed linked to the spirits or demons known as Lilu or Lilitu, which are associated with the night, wind, and other dark aspects of the natural world. The name Lilith is believed to have derived from the Sumerian word Lil, meaning wind or spirit, and the Akkadian Lilitu, a female demon or spirit. These terms are part of a broader category of wind and night demons that were feared in ancient Mesopotamian cultures, particularly for their association with illness, death, and chaos. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, the Lilu were male demons, while Lilitu were their female counterparts. These demons were considered dangerous spirits of the night, often blamed for harm that befell people during the night time, especially involving childbirth, illness, or sudden death. One of the earliest references to a figure that may be linked to Lilith is found in the Epic of Gilgamesh, specifically in the story of the Hulapu tree, a Sumerian myth included in the Gilgamesh epic. In this story, a Lilitu demon lives in the tree alongside other creatures.
In the top of the tree, the dark maid Lilith built her home. The bird goddess Zu set his young in the branches, and in the trunk, the serpent who knows no charm has made its nest.
This text associates the dark maid Lilith with the tree, suggesting a demonic or malevolent presence linked to wild and untamed aspects of nature. In Akkadian incantation texts, Lilitu is frequently mentioned as a female demon that preys on pregnant women and infants. Akkadian incantation texts are ancient ritualistic writings that were used in Mesopotamia, particularly by the Akkadians, to invoke divine powers or ward off evil spirits, demons, and diseases. These texts, often written in the Akkadian language, played a crucial role in the religious and spiritual practices of the region. An Akkadian incantation known as the Incantation against Lamashtu, which is a series of exorcistic texts designed to protect against the demoness Lamashtu, who is feared for causing harm to mothers and infants. Lilitu, a related demon, is mentioned in this context as a nocturnal evil spirit.
Great is the daughter of heaven who tortures babies. Her hand is a net, her embrace is death. She is cruel, raging, angry, predatory. She is a dragon, a snake, a fury. She is a lioness with a long mane. She is a wild dog, a hyena. She is the evil Lilitu who sneaks in at night, who roams through the streets, who prowls through the boulevards. No door can keep her out, no bolt can turn her back. She sneaks in like a snake, she blows in like the wind. She enters through the window like a ghost, she glides past the locks, bolts and bars. She enters the house, she leaves, and none know it. She enters the house of a man, and none know it. She enters the house of a woman, and none know it. She enters the house of a child, and none know it. The house she enters, it crumbles. The head she touches, it burns. She touches a house, and it crumbles. She touches a head, and it burns. She touches a child, and it dies. She is the evil Lilitu, the woman who steals away a child in the night. Mighty is the daughter of heaven, Lamashtu, whose teeth are like daggers, whose claws are like knives. She enters the houses of women, she enters the houses of men. She prowls the streets, she roams the boulevards. She is the one who destroys, the one who steals away children. Her face is a lion's, her head is a donkey's, her hand is a paw, her foot is a claw. Her mouth is full of venom, her breath is death. She is evil, she is cruel, she is wrathful. She is Lamashtu, the daughter of Anu, who roams the streets and the boulevards at night, seeking to devour the innocent, seeking to destroy the helpless. She is the death in the night, the terror in the darkness. She prowls the boulevards, she roams the streets, she seeks her prey. She is the evil Lilitu, who steals away a child in the night. She is Lamashtu, who seeks to destroy the child in the womb, to tear out the unborn. I have invoked you, O Shamash, great god of the sun, to banish this evil one. I have invoked you, O Aa, lord of the deep, to drive her away. I have invoked you, O Marduk, slayer of the dragon, to smite her with your mighty hand. May she be bound, may she be cast out. May she be driven away, may she be destroyed. By the name of Anu, by the name of Enlil, by the name of Ea, I command you, evil Lilitu, to depart. I command you, Lamashtu, to leave this house, to return to the darkness from whence you came. By the great gods, I banish you. By the mighty gods, I destroy you. By the power of the gods, I command you to depart and never return.
Here the Lilitu is described as a nocturnal spirit highlighting her dangerous and predatory nature. She is portrayed as an entity that moves through the night, seeking to cause harm. The Lilith were often associated with the night and the wind, reflecting the fear of the unknown and the dangers lurking in the dark. These spirits were believed to inhabit desolate places, such as the desert or ruins, where they could easily ambush the unsuspecting. The connection to the wind also emphasized their elusive and intangible nature, making them difficult to combat or ward off. Over time, Lilith and related demons became associated with sexuality, seduction, and infertility. They were seen as temptresses who could lead men astray and harm women, especially during vulnerable moments such as childbirth. This aspect of their character was deeply rooted in the ancient understanding of fertility, sexuality, and the fears surrounding them. As the myth of Lilith evolved, her characteristics from Mesopotamian mythology were incorporated into Jewish folklore. The rebellious, dangerous nature of Lilith became part of the Lilith figure in later Jewish texts, where she was portrayed as a demon who refused to be subservient and who preyed on newborns and pregnant women. Lilith's origins in ancient Mesopotamian mythology as Lilitu or Lilu demons highlight her role as a malevolent spirit associated with the night, wind, and danger. These early depictions, drawn from Sumerian and Akkadian texts, emphasize her connection to chaos, sexuality, and death. As these myths were absorbed and transformed in later cultures, Lilith evolved into the complex and multifaceted figure recognized in Jewish mysticism and beyond. Lilith is indeed further developed as a demonic figure in Jewish mystical texts like the Kabbalah and the Zohar. These texts expand on her role, portraying her as a powerful and dangerous entity. The Zohar, a foundational work in Jewish mysticism, elaborates on Lilith's character, associating her with sexual temptation, demonic activity, and the destruction of purity.
At the time when the first man sinned and begot Cain, he begot him from the filth of the serpent who rode on Eve. From that filth came forth Lilith, who, before Eve, was Adam's first wife. She was not a helpmeet for him. She caused him to sin.
This passage identifies Lilith as Adam's first wife and links her to the sin in the Garden of Eden. It suggests that Lilith was not suited to be Adam's partner because of her rebellious and demonic nature.
When Lilith came to Adam, he separated from her after the sexual union, and she flew away, and she still has power over those who sleep alone in the house.
Here Lilith is portrayed as a demon who continues to exert influence, particularly over those who are vulnerable, such as people sleeping alone. This passage reflects her association with seduction and sexual danger.
Lilith wanders about at night, vexing the sons of men and causing them to defile themselves through nocturnal emissions. She flies about at night and goes out of her abode, and has intercourse with men and induces them to emit seed, which she collects.
This text highlights Lilith's role as a succubus, a female demon that engages in sexual relations with men while they sleep, causing them to have pollution or nocturnal emissions. She collects this seed to create demonic offspring. The Kabbalah provides a more detailed and symbolic representation of Lilith, often linking her to themes of cosmic dualism, impurity, and the darker aspects of the feminine. In the Sefer HaZohar, or Book of Splendor,
"And 1,000 souls of men perish in her Lilith's hands every day, for Lilith is the one who lies in wait for the souls of men and causes them to stray."
This passage illustrates Lilith's power over the souls of men, emphasizing her role as a dangerous, seductive force that leads them astray and even to death.
Lilith is the soul of Samael, and together they constitute the evil male and female. Both are seducers. Lilith seduces men, and Samael seduces women.
Here Lilith is linked with Samael, another demonic figure forming a malevolent pair. They are depicted as cosmic forces of evil, each targeting the opposite gender with their seductive powers. Also from the Kabbalistic commentary on the Bible, the Zohar Chadash.
She, Lilith, is the harlot, the evil impulse. She is the end of all flesh, the end of days.
This commentary portrays Lilith as the embodiment of the evil impulse connected to the end of days and ultimate destruction. This passage integrates Lilith into the larger framework of eschatological thought in Jewish mysticism. In the Zohar and other Kabbalistic texts, Lilith is depicted as a powerful, seductive and dangerous figure closely associated with the forces of evil. She represents the darker aspects of femininity, sexuality and rebellion, and is often linked with cosmic dualism, playing a crucial role in the battle between good and evil. These mystical writings have cemented her status as a key figure in Jewish esoteric thought, illustrating her enduring and complex role in the spiritual and mythological landscape. Lilith, a figure whose origins trace back to the ancient myths of Mesopotamia, has evolved into a powerful symbol of both fear and fascination across cultures and centuries. From her earliest depictions as a malevolent nocturnal spirit in Akkadian incantations to her transformation into the rebellious first wife of Adam in Jewish folklore, Lilith embodies the darker aspects of the feminine: seduction, danger, and defiance. In mystical texts like the Kabbalah and the Zohar, she is further developed as a demonic force, entwined with the cosmic struggle between good and evil. Her story, particularly as it appears in the alphabet of Ben Sira, highlights the tension between autonomy and subservience. Lilith stands as a testament to the complex interplay between myth, culture, and identity. Her nature allows her to be both a warning and an inspiration, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the potential of independence. As a figure rooted in ancient belief yet continually relevant, Lilith's legacy will undoubtedly continue to evolve.